I'll tell you something. If you've lived, like you've moved out of your home country to a foreign land, it's a life hack, and I want to give you a round of applause. Because it's not easy. Like, first of all, mastering the courage to like leave your home, like the comfort. Like for me, when I came, I had nobody here. I had no friend, no family, no one. I just left home. I've never actually traveled out of the country, Nigeria, my country before.
Wow.
That was my first time. I got the passport because I wanted to come to Dubai. And when I came, it wasn't easy. So not just us now, a lot of people are struggling. I want to say it gets better from here. So that takes me back to my story.
Stretch Street Podcast.
Hello. So, 60% of those who visit this channel are not subscribed. Are you one of them? Come on. Anyways, I know you forgot, right? So now I'm here to remind you to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't have to miss any of our episodes, all right? Now, let us dive into today's episode and I'll see you on the other side.
My name is Gift Preye Solomon, a.k.a. GPS, from Nigeria. I'm an entrepreneur, a travel consultant, and someone some people would call the plug. My philosophy about life is live and be happy. If you can make people around you happy, that's perfect. I just like to stay happy. And I believe that a smile has a way of brightening people's day, even your day. Even if it's fake, just smile. One fun thing about me would be I love adventures. I love adventures. In as much as I don't get to do a lot of crazy stuff, but trust me, I can actually take on a lot of challenges, you know. Being on the gyrocopter. The plane was open, I was just there. You can see it.
So guys, welcome to another episode on Stretch Street Podcast. With you know who it is, the energetic EJ. And today I'm just lounging because I'm going to be having fun with my friend and sister from Nigeria. But right, yes, we're here dominating in Dubai. What are you talking about? Anyways, today I'm here to have fun. Guys, are you ready for some gist? Because like I said, I'm here with my sister and friend. And guys, I am so inspired by her story, which is why I want her to share a stretch story on the Stretch Streets podcast to inspire you. Guy, if you hear waiting be suffer, this babe don't suffer. All right, guys, if you're not from Nigeria, you might not know what I've said, but I'm just saying that this girl has been through a lot since she came into the UAE. She came in and I was wowed at how many times she had to exit and come back before she got a job. And guess what? She became the first female delivery rider. And one of the 75 faces of the UAE. How did she go from nothing to this brand that we all admire today? There is a stretch story in there somewhere, and that is what we want to unpack in this particular episode. So please don't go anywhere. Grab your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, or your bottle of water. Sit closer or put your screen closer to your face, and let's get into this story. See you in a bit.
Stretch Street Podcast.
Yes, guys. Babe.
Like, it's actually contagious now.
Right? Right? Like, what's your sub? Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Finally, we get to do this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Like, girl, your story, like, waiting give you that, what gave you that confidence to step out? First of all, what made you leave Nigeria?
For the same reason everyone is leaving now, for greener pastures. Actually, Nigeria wasn't as fun. I was born into an average family, not just an average family, a family that struggles to get everything like we actually have. So it wasn't really. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. We practically crafted, like we carved this spoon. So I just needed something better, a way to give back to my family that's actually been struggling and helping me all through the years. I just wanted to do something back. So that's why I decided to drop back. And Dubai was the closest and easiest place to come to.
So when you left Nigeria, did you have any plans like, okay, as I'm going to Dubai now, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, or you just came like, okay, let's just go and explore?
Actually, that wasn't the case. If I was coming to explore, that would have been like a vacation. But when I came to the UAE, before I came, I actually got in touch with a couple of peeps, agents and stuff that was supposed to help me get a job. So I came with a mindset that I have already gotten a job. I already have a job waiting for me. But when I got here, the reverse was the case. So struggling.
Be gone.
Open. Drum roll.
So, what year was this?
2016.
So can you imagine? So since 2016, they've been giving people wrong information to bring them in. So when you got here and then you discovered, the matter has changed, the story has overturned, what was your first reaction?
Well, it took me a while to actually realize because initially from the sales job that I was told I already had, there was no sales job.
Oh, wow.
Eventually they told me, okay, you need to start making CVs. I'm like, for crying out loud, I wasn't even working before I left home. I didn't have any experience creating CV and starting. It was a bit difficult considering when I came to Dubai, I was not opportune. When I came to the UAE, rather, I wasn't opportune to come to Dubai. I was in Sharjah.
Absolutely, like everybody outside of the UAE think when you say you're in the UAE is Dubai, they forget about the other Emirates.
There's 7 Emirates, and I wasn't like really opportune to be in Dubai. I was in Sharjah, which was, I wouldn't say laid back, but then it's like different from.
It's the
Dubai
vibes.
Tourists.
Yes, absolutely.
So. And Sharjah, it was a bit like
calm.
Like whenever I have interviews in Dubai, I have to take a bus from Sharjah, and sometimes it takes me up to 2 hours to get to my location. Absolutely. I saw every year. It wasn't easy. Like when I realized the reverse was the case, but I just know one thing: I don't come. There's no going back.
Like no option.
There's no option.
We have to make it work.
Quitting is not an option. It's not as easy as I'm saying it right now. A lot of noodles, a lot of tears, a lot.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Are you sure?
I'm an emotional person, so if it warrants it, I don't shy away from letting go. But just tell us a little about the struggles that you had to face. I mean, this is, people say everybody has their own story, but still, it's different for each and every one of us, and the way we experience it is also different. And the reason we do this on Stretch Street is actually to gain that inspiration, because whoever is listening to this, if you're watching or listening to this, you might not even be in Dubai or planning to go to the UAE, but probably you're somewhere else outside of home. Right? And it's probably the most difficult thing when you have no family members, you have no friends around. It's like you starting all afresh in a new environment, and then what you thought you had, just not there. How do you then move on from there? I think some people will just like give up.
Firstly, before we continue, I would like to take a minute to do this. I'll tell you something. If you've you've moved out of your home country to a foreign land, it's a life hack, and I want to give you a round of applause, because it's not easy. Like, first of all, mastering the courage to leave your home, the comfort. Like for me, when I came, I had nobody here. I had no friend, no family, no one. I just left home. I've never actually traveled out of the country, Nigeria, my country before.
Wow.
That was my first time. I got the passport because I wanted to come to Dubai. And when I came, it wasn't easy. So not just us now, a lot of people are struggling. I want to say it gets better from here. So that takes me back to my story. When I got to the UAE, it took me 6 months to get a job. The first time I came, 3 months passed. I was hoping to get something good. Okay, sales, receptionist, those kind of nice jobs that are still fancy. Those weren't coming. 3 months passed, I didn't get nothing. I left. And Dubai is not a country where you can actually stay. Each day you stay, you pay money.
Like this bill, yeah.
So I was scared from the start. I was scared of having those overstay because I've seen a lot of people that actually, they're here in the UAE, they don't have visa, they can't even go out, they cannot move freely. I didn't want to be like boxed because I knew I had to look for a job. So I left Dubai, I came back again with a 3-month visa. I was still in search of a job. The second time I was like, you know what, any job that comes. I was looking for cleaning jobs, like housekeeping, a lot of jobs. There's one time, God bless Dubai. Then you know, cleaning jobs actually they interview you like, what do you want to interview me for?
Out of dust.
They actually, I went for a series of like cleaning interviews, and most times I realized I failed. Like,
wow,
I don't pass. That's one time made me do like training
cleaning
for
test.
3 years, test for 3 days. I would travel from Sharjah to Dubai for 3 days, hoping, okay, you know those like the marina works, those fence, those glass, will clean everything.
Wow.
Clean inside, clean the toilet. There's one time I got a tip for 20 dirhams. The person came to clean because it was at a restaurant. After 3 days, I was like, you know what, I've gotten this job. I was contented and I was happy, thinking, okay, I just need a job that will give me a visa to stay. But that didn't come. Wow. Afterwards, 3 days, say sorry. They picked the people they picked. They made like almost 5 of us do the training, and then they picked the people they picked.
Oh my gosh.
I knew, okay, that wasn't for me. Then again, it was a blessing. It wasn't really a disappointment, because if I had settled for that job, I would have been stuck there for 2 years. Maybe that would have been what started my career. So after 6 months of searching, eventually I got something with the company that I used to work with, Freedom Pizza, as a phone operator, which was more decent. The interview just came. I lied in my CV. Sorry, guys, don't lie. But then I didn't have any experience, and then Dubai is a country that for you to get something,
you need some experience, and even in here, experience here.
So I'm like, okay, I did this. They asked me, have you worked? I said, yes. No, I worked in the kitchen, but I've never worked before. But I just knew as an hustler, I wanted to. I knew I'm already here. I need to work. I can work. Whatever you throw at me, I can. Maybe the first 3 weeks or 1 month that I came, I wouldn't have been able to. But after struggling for like
6 months,
I knew anything that comes, I would do it.
Can stand it.
So I started working. It tested me. It was in the kitchen, taking orders over the phone. I had challenges major. Guys, ignore this English. I learned how to pronounce. You know, when you in Nigeria, I wasn't really born in the posh part. I grew up in Benin City, precisely. We weren't really that English.
I mean, I PG, they speak broken English.
So I would have cases where I'll talk to customers. They'll be like, "Can I speak to someone that speaks English?" Please?
Oh wow!
Because they couldn't understand me. Like, I would want to say mushrooms.
Oh, mushroom.
Hello. Like the H, like a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. Right now, I'm still practicing because
nobody's perfect. And not be mama tongue.
English, you don't stress me with English. So,
but you have to learn.
I would record myself speak, and I would listen again. I would like just sometimes the day the customer told me that, like, can I speak to someone that speaks English, please? I cried.
We were like, what am I speaking?
After some time, people would be laughing, but then over time, I became the person that a customer would call. Can I speak to Gift? She knows my order already.
Oh wow!
So it got to that stage. From being a phone operator, I became a supervisor. From a supervisor to an assistant manager, over the years I grew, and then the opportunity to be the delivery rider came.
That one, I want to get that story, baby. How did that happen? Were you practicing how to ride bike before?
That is what I said. But the funniest part is, when the idea came about being a delivery rider, I wasn't even thinking I was the first. I didn't even have that, like, okay, Gift, you be recognized for being the first. I wasn't thinking about that because I work with a lot of drivers. Even just in my store, we had over 7 to 8 stores. In my store, we have over 36 drivers at that time.
Wow.
And all of them are like Indians, Pakistanis. We work together to a stage where, sister, they call me sister, they'll bring food, we eat together, we eat together. So I got that, like, I became, I'll use the word, compassionate towards them, because I understand like how they do
the work.
Sister, this customer, very nice customer, give me tip 20 dirhams, give me. So I see how they like, even though they're stressed during the hot weather, they would always be like happy when they come
And
back.
grateful.
So I'm like, you know what, okay. I didn't think about it. So we had a town hall meeting when the CEO asked, like, we're expanding, we're not discriminating. If there's anybody, any lady wants to be a deliverer, we're open. If there's anyone here, if you have friends that can ride, bring them in. And I just raised my hand. In a town hall meeting with over 200 to 300 employees. I didn't know what I was doing. If it was now, I wouldn't have. But I just raised my hand, like, yeah, I can do it. And then they're like, everybody looked at me, because at that stage, I'm that gift that customer loves.
Yeah, the supervisor and everything, yeah.
So everybody, this gift again, drama.
Wow.
So I can do it. So it's like, I used sure. I said, yeah. So over time, our CEO, like, he offered an all expense paid to get a license, because it cost a fortune. It's actually over 7,000 to 8,000 dirhams. That's like 1.5 million at the moment.
To go and learn how to ride a bike. Wow.
So they like sponsored everything. I went, starting, like, it was weird for people that, really, ride bike? I didn't tell them I was into deliveries, because anyone could get a license. But over time, I'm like, okay. They made me sign a waiver that it was okay for a male instructor to actually teach me.
Okay.
So over time, I started learning, and
wow,
I got my license.
So when you did that, after that, what was your experience like? You just tell us two, the worst day and the best day during your experience as a bike rider, as a delivery woman.
Okay, my best day would be, there was a time, I think my first few orders that I did, a group of, I'm a lady,
a curvy one at that, dude, a curvy one.
I had an order, it was somewhere in Marina, and then I went there, I didn't know the customer.
Those Marina people say.
I didn't know the customer, I just went there and knocked, I said my line, because we had the line, like, my name is Gift from Freedom Pizza, here's the order. As soon as the guy that came to receive the order saw me, he just opened the door. Apparently they were having a party.
Oh my God, all guys, all right?
He just opened the door, like, left the door open, all of them saw me, like, whoa.
I can imagine.
I was ashamed.
You were a ground.
I was ashamed, but then again, I just smiled. I'm like, hi. I just gave them the order they took, and then I left. God. Initially, I was so ashamed, like, but then afterwards, I'm like, you know what?
That's something to be proud of.
So that's great. And that's probably the time I realized that Gift own the shit. Own it. You're already here, you have to own it. And most times I see, like, I go to reception, they're like, how did you come on a bike?
No, I jogged.
The bike, of course. And then maybe
I
the
can
most embarrassing
imagine.
one will be when I went to deliver, I saw a friend of mine that knew me from Nigeria, and I had to hide. Yeah.
Okay, you had to hide. Okay, at least you hid. Okay,
Yeah,
because I was wondering. I was scared. Oh, honestly, I was scared. Like, I hope it's not like the person just watched you down. Like, Gift, you come out for your own Nigeria.
The funniest part is I still had my social life, because over the time when I was doing all this, I had my business. Because after a year of getting the job, I just felt, you know what? I started doing the agency thing at the side, like travels. I started doing that because I would always like post, go to nice places on my day off. People didn't know I had a job that
a full-time job,
full-time job that I do. They just feel, oh, Gift
is lounging, it's flexing in Dubai. Wow.
Most times I would say for a month just to take a trip to maybe somewhere, stay in a fancy hotel, take picture, or go to Miracle Garden, go to somewhere nice. I always do that every month. So it kept the travel thing going for me. So over time, people ask me, I have someone that's coming to Dubai. Can you help them? I said, yeah, sure. I have service charge, tour guide. So I started like that. Even when I was working, I would always do that on the side.
Wow.
So that day, I'm like, everybody know me. I give day Dubai. She's exploring, and then they see me delivering, and I was on my bike uniform, and I eat. It was so awkward. It's not just as I am saying it now, because that day was different. Because I had to hide. I had a customer's order. The person was there in the reception, waiting for a long time. I was shaking. It was like that's.
There was a fear.
Yeah, of like being caught, like I was doing something wrong. Well,
wow.
Now, if you take me back to that day, I'll probably go there and say, hi, what's up, how are you? I'm just delivering a pizza. I'll come back and say hi to the person. But then, because I was scared and because we had that, what would people think?
That's exactly where I was going with. Like,
Now,
what is your lesson from those experiences? Because it's important that we know that sometimes, sometimes we forget to unpack some of the life lessons that our experience taught us. But when we really sit down to share the stories, some of those lessons come like, this is why I started doing this other thing. Like you said, like, hey girl, I had to own this shit. Like, I ain't stealing. I'm not robbing the bank. I'm not selling my body. I'm working.
Working.
Like
right
this
now,
is dignity in labor, right? So
right now, darling, like my lesson is like, I am proud. I still go into rooms now and then you ask me, what do you do? Before I say anything, I tell you, my name is Gift. I'm UAE's first female delivery rider. I specify on that. One of the 75 faces, and right now I'm currently a travel consultant.
absolutely fantastic.
I love to like walk you through the journey. Know that this was where I started. If it's something I'm not proud of, sometimes people say sorry. When I meet some people, they say sorry. What's that? Bike rider. Ooh.
And they want
some will be like, okay, bike rider. Okay, interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
But it's not always like glamorous. But then I still like
Own it.
and love to introduce myself that way. So whatever you're doing, whatever, you don't have to be the first. Own it. Like, especially as ladies, own it. Because the challenges I was having then was that bias, like, oh, she's a lady, she shouldn't be doing this. When my article came out, when it was like published, Nation, international TV and everywhere, people will be like, oh, that means cold pizza. That means they feel like I as a lady, if I'm delivering, it's
You'll
gonna
be
take
slow.
a longer time.
Come on, so stereotypical. But I'm glad that you changed that story. And now, since you left that space, has there been more women in that space?
Honestly, I'm still the only.
Ladies. Well, I think again, it's also a case of the company. Because also not every company would bring out that initiative and also encourage women to do it. But I really do hope that most companies will begin to look at the opportunities. We've been talking about inclusivity for how long? For the longest time, right? I feel like we're now in an age where you don't say this one is for men and this one is for women. If a woman is willing to take a chance, please let them do it. Give them the opportunity to explore, right? Fantastic story there. Thank you so much for sharing. When it comes to you being one of the 75 faces of the year, what is that about?
Alright, so basically, while I was in my Okada job,
this Okada thing is not like this. You cannot leave your story again.
No, it's been great because it's given me a lot of opportunities, like a lot. Imagine me working with Reebok at the time, and then I was there and I was thinking, before you know, they called me, what's up, good? Guess what? I said, what? HSBC,
The bank.
The bank wants to sponsor you. Like they've brought you out as one of the 75 faces of the UAE, like people that has contributed to making the UAE a better place, business
inclusive and every. Wow.
I mean, for starters, when I heard that, I was like, I didn't quite understand.
Wow.
It was when they brought out I read, I'm like, you know what? Are you serious? And I'm not just an African lady. I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. I'm black. I don't want to play the race, but then I am black. I came into the UAE with nothing. And this is me today. Sometimes when I look back, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I'm still pushing. I have a lot
to do, to accomplish.
Like the issue of us not having ladies, guys, with GPS is coming. We are coming, okay? So yeah, I want to see a lot of ladies like breaking the gender stereotypes. Like there are no job tagged to men. This is the men's job. This is the woman's job. Just come out and do it. If
you're passionate about it, just go for it.
That brings me. The word passion is derived from a Latin word which means suffer. if you're passionate about it, you have to suffer for it. So.
Hey, that's a treatable moment right there. If you're passionate about it, you have to suffer for it. So it's not going to be a walk in the park. The fact that you're passionate about it does not mean it's going to be easy or everything is going to come to you. If it's not working, it means it's not yours. No. Sometimes if it's not working, it means that you have the capacity to make it work. And that's why it's difficult for you. But because you're passionate about it, you can't let it go. Your heart is beating for it, but it is difficult. You're crying, but through the tears, through the pain, through the sweat, you're going for it. You're thinking about, okay, how else can I do this? How can I make it better? How can I do it differently to make it get to different results? That is what passion is all about. Passion is not flexing. Passion is not sweet. Exactly. I mean, if you look at Passion of the Christ, it's not sweet. It's suffering. Serious suffer. That's a very beautiful one to plug in there. Thank you so much. Going forward, what should we expect from the big, bold, beautiful GPS? Okay?
Well, expect nothing else but wonderful moments. I mean, guys, tell her I said this, please. Visit Dubai, get through travels.
Absolutely. Like this girl. You remember when she said one fun thing about her was exploring and adventurous? Not true. She would just decide now and say, I need to visit this city. I need to visit this town. She's a well-traveled person, and that's why I love one thing she said one time we were in a conversation when she said, when I see a place that I like, I love to experience it first before I even recommend it to my client, so that I know, I've been there, done that, it's good. I can tell you this one is for sure. So that means when you have travel, when you want to have great travel experiences, she can be trusted because she has experienced it, and so she's not going to be giving you hula baloo stories. You know, there are people who, I remember one time a group of my friends came to Dubai for the first time. I think this was 2015 or 2016. The whole package was just a mess. They didn't tell them that their flight arrived at like 1 a.m. thereabouts. They didn't tell them that the hotel that they booked for them was going to check in at 2 p.m. So they were just stranded, and they had to from 1 a.m. So that's almost 12 hours away. They didn't tell them that. To book early or something. Exactly, right? So, but probably because those agencies have not even been to Dubai themselves. So they just arrange it and have agents here. So, but that is not going to be your experience when you work with Gift, okay? And if you mention my name to say energetic EJ, now you bring me come. I'm plugging exactly, get a discount for sure, okay? And then you know how we do it. This is another thing that she does by the side. Sisters supporting sisters. She's always supporting businesses and brands around her. So please go check her out. What's the handle again?
Dubai Getaway Travel.
Hey, so we don't only do Dubai. It's only Dubai. Anywhere in the world you want to go, we plug you.
From Dubai, how I started.
We plug. She's the plug. You can see very thick plug. Eh? Thank you so much, guys. What will be your final word for the women listening to you? First of all, the last word, is the fact that you are big, bold, and beautiful. I think that could also play a role. That could be something that, everybody wants to be slim. Now everybody's working out and everything. From your experience as a big, bold, and beautiful, looking at self-image, what would be your last word to any woman who is out there also, first of all, fighting or battling with self-image, not to talk of now owning their craft and everything?
Well, first I would say love yourself regardless, because no one can be you. The prizest possession you have is your body. Without your body, you cannot go anywhere. You cannot do anything. So appreciate yourself, love yourself regardless. I mean, we ladies now, we are big and we are bold, we're beautiful, we're confident. Just own it. Just own it. That's all I have to say. Own yourself. You're big. If you're big like me, you're slim, love yourself regardless. And trust me, whatever you do, you'll be happy because you already have the foundation that
nobody can that's it. I love me. Your love for me is an extra.
Thank you.
Right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sis, for doing this. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for belling the car. Thank you for trailing the blaze, trailing the blaze and blazing the trail. All joy, join the blaze, all joy, right?
Thank
you so much for being such an inspiration to women out here and women everywhere in the world as well, especially for women in diaspora. Like, I know it's difficult transitioning from home to somewhere that you don't know people or anything, and then you have to start from scratch. It is possible. Just have that mindset to pull through and say, whatever it takes, I'm going to give it. Yes.
You will do it.
Yes, whatever it takes legally, right? We have to plug that in. Legally, all right. It's hard everywhere, but you can choose your hard and you can choose to work it and make it work. It's only a matter of time. You're going to succeed, all right? Thank you so much for joining us on Stretch Street Podcast. I hope you had fun. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not already doing that. Click now. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, please, there's always a question attached to our Spotify episode. Just answer it. Let me know you are listening. Type something, communicate with me, share it, subscribe, send me feedback. If you want me to change anything, talk to me. I'm here for you, okay? I'm here for you. You are the reason I come here every week. I'm going to see you next week. This is the energetic EJ.